Michael Clark from the Road Trip coming to you somewhere in Muskoka. The boats are out, the docks are out, and so is the Orlando. And joining us is Paul Hewitt. He is the product manager for Orlando. Paul, thank you for being on the Road Trip.
Oh, thank you very much for having me.
So tell us a little bit about the mindset that happened in General Motors when the day of the van dying came.
Well, when we were, back in, I'll say, 2007, 2008, when we realized that there wasn't going to be a replacement product for the Uplander here in North America, we had to go around searching the globe for something that would perhaps meet a lot of our former minivan customers' needs. We think we found a very relevant product in the Orlando. It's a little smaller than perhaps the traditional minivan, but maybe that is more relevant today given the price of fuel, given people still want the versatility, but fuel economy is on everybody's mind. Everybody's always thinking about it, so it fits a lot of people's needs.
Well, and the interesting thing here, too, is this is a vehicle that fits a lot of Canadians' needs because we're not going to see it in anywhere else in North America at this time.
No, the U.S. didn't have interest in the vehicle. They decided at the time that it wasn't a vehicle that they wanted to bring in. They didn't have as great a percentage of sales of minivans as we did. The minivan isn't perhaps as relevant to the American consumer. But certainly in Canada, we saw this vehicle. It meets all our needs. It's safe, it's fuel efficient, it's versatile. Families will use this for their vacations. They'll use it for day-to-day driving, transporting the kids. It's a great vehicle.
Well, the other thing that's interesting, too, is we're dealing with a lot of familiar architecture in respect to, of course, the underbelly as well as the powertrain. Tell us how that plays out.
Well, the vehicle is built off the Delta platform. It's the same platform as our award-winning Cruise. It's very stiff. It provides an excellent chassis to build upon a vehicle with. And then the engines, the 2.4-liter direct injection variable valve timing engine is used today in the Equinox. For the Orlando, it's specifically developed for our market, where a vehicle that's both fuel efficient and powerful enough to move a vehicle like the Orlando around town.
Now, of course, there's a lot of vehicles that seem to be close in this category, but we have to remember that we are talking about an MPV. So let's talk a little bit about the competitive bullseye for Orlando.
Our primary target and sort of the segment leader currently is the Mazda 5, but we feel we've taken them head on. We provide a vehicle that's more functional, that can provide more comfort to the third row, as well as usability. And then our powertrain, as I said, is excellent, gets great fuel economy, and provides ample power to move the Orlando around.
Now, the Road Trip has seen many an MPV such as this using, of course, a third row availability, and unfortunately, sometimes those third rows feel like some sort of shunning if you have to be put back there. Tell us why people aren't going to feel that way in the third row of the Orlando.
Well, as I said, the third row is standard in the Orlando. It was designed with usability in mind, certainly. It's not just for occasional use. It's got, with wide swing out doors and folding and tumbling second row, you've got easy access to the third row. You've got ample knee room. As an adult, I could sit back there and ride for several hours in comfort.
So the cargo area, too, I think it is an impressive story in respect to how many liters of cargo area you're actually getting in this, and it is almost van-like in that respect. Right.
Yeah, with all the seats folded, and the second row also folds flat, you have up to 1,600 liters of cargo space in the back. So, you can fold third row and have second row up and still carry 5 people as well as a lot of gear, or you can fold it all and put your big screen TV you just purchased in the back with no problem.
Now, the one thing about Mazda 5 that is unique is some of the storage cubby arrangements that they have, such as the parts underneath the second row seats. What are some of the interesting cubbies that you've got in the Orlando?
Well, as I said, there's ample cup holders. You've got a nice storage in the center console. But the neat thing we have is in behind the radio faceplate is a flip-up compartment. And in there, you'll have your USB connections or your iPod connection. It's a great spot to throw a wallet or keys. And if you leave them in your vehicle and walk away, they're safe and hidden. I mean, really, no one even knows it's there. The compartment is very ingenious in that respect.
Now, there is, of course, the LS model with the 6-speed manual starting at $19,995. Where do you expect the majority of the Orlando customers to be placing their dollars?
Well, we look at how the vehicle is contented and the equipment, and really the LT will be our high running model based on how we've packaged it and priced it, where we've given the whole slew of features that people want and given them all those features at an excellent price.
Now, because, of course, not every customer is looking at vehicles in respect to their differentiation between either being a crossover or MPV, is there any concern that the Orlando might actually start to cannibalize any sales from Equinox or GMC Terrain?
I think there are customers that could think that they want an Equinox and come in and see the Orlando and see what it offers. And, and for an Equinox customer or someone who perhaps thinks they want a customer or to buy an Equinox would look at it and say, well, I'm going to have the grandkids say, or, my son and daughter's other friends, and, having that third row availability is really nice. So, yes, there will be some, and I like to think the Orlando is a good-looking MPV and the best-looking MPV out there, in that it has sort of a Chevrolet ruggedness to it that some of the customers who have said perhaps we're looking at an Equinox may consider as well.
Well, and let's also get Canadians to understand how important the top rating for Euro NCAP is to their safety.
As I said, the vehicle comes standard with the laundry list of safety features that customers expect. But as I said, it's been tested and it has just gotten a Euro NCAP 5-star rating. So it will be a 5-star rated vehicle. So in the case that you unfortunately get into some sort of accident, we expect you to be safe in this vehicle. And all of Orlando's will come with standard OnStar as well, in case you do have that sort of incident.
Well, it's definitely a great follow-up, of course, to what we on the road trip have loved as the HHR, but definitely much larger vehicle, much more capable vehicle, and certainly a lot more friends to bring along for the ride. Paul, thank you for being on the road trip.
Thank you very much, Michael.
Michael Clark from the road trip coming to you.